State Senator John Kavanagh has written a new book on how legislatures work and the complex world of lawmaking. The book is titled State Legislatures, an Owner's Manual, and its author is a 19-year veteran of the Arizona State Legislature. He's also a frequent guest here on Arizona Horizon. We welcome back State Senator John Kavanagh. Good to see you. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you very much.
What does it feel like to hold your first book there?
It's empowering, flattering, and then that humbling because I may get questions about it.
Okay, I bet you will. So that's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of information. It's an introductory book about state legislatures, Arizona, or state legislatures in general?
In general. I wrote it because I asked President Crow a couple of years ago if I could teach a course on state legislatures, because I was a college professor also. And he said yes. And normally in my criminal justice field, if I had a new topic, I would get the introductory textbook, which would have history, structure, process, ethics. They're all boilerplate template. There was none for state legislatures. And I needed that to present that information in the course. So I gathered the info for the course and decided to spend a little more time, refine it, and turn it into a textbook.
I was going to ask you, because when I got the book and I looked it over, I said, this looks like a textbook. It is a textbook, isn't it?
It is, but not just for students. And by the way, to your first question, it's in general. It relates a lot to my Arizona experiences, but it could apply to any state legislatures because they're all very, very similar in nature.
Okay, so it explains how laws are made, correct? Explains the background on, everything from drafting, navigating, negotiating, all these kinds of things.
Yeah, well, by the way, it's not just for students. A new state legislature or a veteran would really benefit from this because it wound up being 394 pages because the more I researched in one area, the more other areas that had to be discussed came up. And it wound up being 394 pages.
Yeah.
But if you're a citizen, a lobbyist, anybody who interacts with legislators will benefit from the book.
And when you talk to folks that aren't involved that much in the legislature, but kind of want to know more about laws and these sorts of things, more about what's in the book, what surprises them most about the legislative process?
That it's not like the cartoon handout they were given in elementary school when they visited the state capitol with the little, little cartoon figures and the little path. This goes through the formal process, but this also goes through the informal process, the way it's really done. So it's kind of part expose, but not in a racy way.
No, but when you say how it's really done, explain what you mean. Give us an example.
Well, the Arizona Constitution says that all bills must be read publicly on the floor 3 separate times, 3 separate days, to give people a heads up that a bill is coming. I can do that using the informal process and not violate the Constitution in about 6 or 7 hours. Very simple. I find a bill which has already been first read and is sitting in a committee. I have the committee chair do what's called a strike everything amendment, where the first line says, strike everything below me, and then you replace it with the second bill. You immediately go to the floor, second read that bill, and then, say it's 7 o'clock at night, guess what happens at 12:01? It's the third day, and you finish the bill.
Yes, okay. So you've been in the legislature for 19 years. How long did it take you to understand that kind of a process?
To tell you the truth, I'm still learning because the legislature is a complicated animal. And I was surprised how much I learned in researching this book.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. You say it's a complicated animal. How do you make it so it's clear and accessible to those who aren't necessarily budding lawmakers?
Well, as you may know, I like to gab, so I'm kind of communicative. I've taught for over 25 years at ASU and Scottsdale Community College, so I spent a lot of time trying to explain often complex criminal justice topics to students. So you learn, because when you first start teaching and you're not communicating, you look in the classroom and everybody has a perplexed look. So you immediately correct and you change. And after a few years, you kind of learn to get it right the first time.
When we have you on the show, we've had you on quite a few times, you always represent the right side of the aisle in these issues. You are a Republican, and a strong Republican, and a long-standing Republican. Is this a Republican perspective on the process?
Absolutely not. When I went to college, we had some professors who would put politics into the course. I never liked that, at least not if they didn't do balanced. Throughout my 25 years of teaching college, criminal justice at ASU and Scottsdale Community College, I never put politics into my course. If I do, I present the arguments for both sides and let the students decide, because my job is to teach, not to propagandize. This book, I take pride in being totally devoid of any partisan spin, but it does give both sides of all the controversial issues, like term limits and
Right. Are there both sides, though? I said the description of the book includes challenges posted by the administrative state. That could be a little touch and go there. Executive overreach is mentioned. Judicial activism is mentioned. These are buzzwords from the right side. Can they be buzzwords on all sides? I mean, how do you explain that?
Well, they're buzzwords from the right or left side, depending on which side the administrative state is promoting and which side they stand for. But there are inherent problems. Again, the chief executive could be a Republican with a Democrat legislature or vice versa. So it goes both ways.
Did you get feedback from some of your colleagues on that? I mean, when you wrote this, did you have people look it over, and who did you have look over it?
I gave it to a few people. I gave it to some of our chief clerks. I gave it to some of our legislative attorneys. I gave it to a Supreme Court justice whose name I won't mention because I'm not sure how he can get involved in the commercial thing. And I gave it to the head of the National Conference of State Legislatures. They all gave me some very positive feedback, that they all were impressed by the books.
And you referred to this earlier. Who is this? Who do you want to get? Who is the book designed to reach, and who do you want to see buy it?
It's an owner's manual. If you're a legislature, you have ownership, you should know it. If you're a citizen, an advocate, you should know it. If you're a lobbyist who works in a legislature, you should know how the system works. Reporters, anybody who deals with the legislature or just wants to understand it would benefit from this book.
Last question here. Do you think some of your fellow lawmakers would benefit from this book?
I would, but those who don't think politically like I do, I hope they don't learn quite as well as the others.
So in other words, you want your 19 years to hold on pretty strong, huh? Congratulations on the book. It's always a pleasure to speak with someone when their first book comes out, because I know it's very exciting. And how long did it take you to do this again?
About a year and a half, on and off.
All right. Is another book in the works?
No, but I may update this once I see where AI settles in the legislative scheme of things.
Oh boy, good luck with that one. Maybe AI will help you see where AI settles.
But it won't write my book.
Yeah. Senator John Kavanaugh, good to see you again.
Thank you.